All right, let's explore the Avo for PM's workflow. So to set the stage, I am a product manager for a puzzle game, and I just signed up for Avo. In the sign-up workflow, I selected iOS and Android as my development platforms and Mixpanel as my analytics tool. So here's my workspace in Avo that I just created for my puzzle game here. And the first thing that Avo invites me to do is to either import my existing tracking plan or create my first event. And as I already have an established tracking plan, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So before I do that, I need to export it from where I keep my tracking plan, and that is, in my case, in Mixpanel Lexicon. So here's my tracking plan in Mixpanel Lexicon. It has all my events and the descriptions of the events and the properties of the events. So I'm going to just go ahead and export this. I'm going to only export the events and properties, and by clicking this button, I will just send the CSV that Mixpanel Lexicon is creating to my inbox. Okay, so let's head back to Avo and import the file that I just created. So here's my file. I'm going to drop it here into the importer, and boom, 10 events and 9 properties found. Great. So here I can review the import that I'm about to do. So I can review if there are any events that I want to exclude. So I want to exclude these Mixpanel automatic events. And I could also choose to exclude some properties. For example, if I had some crazy properties that came because of a typo at some point, I could exclude those. But I feel pretty confident about my tracking plan, so I'm just going to import the whole thing. Okay, so now my import is complete. Nice. Let's get started. So here I have a list of all the events. These are the same events as we saw in Mixpanel Lexicon. And immediately when we import our tracking plan, then Avo surfaces if there are any issues in my tracking plan. So I can see here that Avo has found 13 issues with my import. And for example, there are 2 properties that have a same or similar names. Oh yeah, exactly. So we had that point in time where we accidentally were sending game underscore count in iOS, but we were doing game count in capital case or title case on Android. Okay. I can see, okay, here's snake case for game count, but title case is my dominant casing. Okay, I can fix that. Also, I can see here that there are 4 events that don't have a description and 6 properties that don't have descriptions. This is great because I really care about including descriptions on my events and properties to make sure that everyone is aligned on what the events and properties mean and when exactly they should be sent to make sure that there are no discrepancies between platforms or code paths. Okay, sweet. So now I'm just ready to start making some changes to my tracking plan. So I want to make sure that the sign-up flow is properly documented in my tracking plan. And I'm going to create a branch to make those suggested changes in the tracking plan. So sign up flow, going to create a branch for that. So what I'm doing now is making sure that I can draft and suggest changes in isolation to the single source of tracking plan that lives on the main branch. So now I don't have to worry about making changes and it affecting anyone else or messing up something if I change my mind later. Okay, so now I'm ready to start making sure my sign-up flow is properly documented. So I'm going to make sure I have a sign-up started event. Oh, okay, I already have a sign-up started event in capital case or in title case, I mean. Okay, so then I don't have to create that one. So now what Ava has done is to make sure that I'm not creating duplicate events. I can't create this new event because it has a same name as some other event, just in a different casing. Okay, let's do sign up completed then. Okay, I again used snake case, duh. I'm supposed to use title case. So let's take that suggestion from Avo, thank you. So now it is helping me having my casing consistent across all my events, including the new ones. Okay, let's create this event. Let's add descriptions. Descriptions are important, kids. Event sent when a user successfully completes signing up. Okay, so the event is not sent when the user clicks the button, but when they successfully complete the sign up. Okay, so now I've defined this event. I've given it a name and a description, and now I'm going to define where it's supposed to be sent from. And I want it to be sent from iOS, and I want it to be sent from Android. And these are going to be purely documented right now. So I'm not going to implement these events with Avo right now, but here I'm defining that I'm going to send this event across these two platforms, and it's going to be completely consistent between those platforms. Okay, I also want to add a property. Let's create an authentication method property. Okay, I see I already have an authentication method property, so let's just use that one. So now I'm just reusing a property that I have already defined in Lexicon, imported into Avo, and I'm reusing it here. So now I'm going to just make sure it's consistent across all the events and all the platforms as well. Okay, so I'm pretty happy about this event here. I also want to make sure that I am not missing any important descriptions for now. Okay, I see game completed is missing a description. I want to make sure that it has a description as well. So I'm going to add here event sent when a user successfully ended their game. Okay, I'm also going to document where this is supposed to be sent from. Again, I only want it to be documented to where it should be sent from. I'm not going to actually implement those with our functions. Okay, now I'm just pretty happy about what I've done, so it's time to review my changes. So then I go into the View Changes screen, and here is a summary of all the changes that I've made compared to the main branch. I have the sign up completed event, which is a new event, and I made some changes to the game completed event. So I actually want a developer to know how they should implement this event. So what I can do is to just click this button here to copy a markdown, which is just a text explaining in detail exactly how this branch is making changes to the source of truth tracking plan. So I can create a ticket in my ticketing system. In my case, that's Asana. And I'm going to create a ticket for a developer to implement sign up completed event. And I can simply just paste the instructions here. So now they have very detailed instructions on exactly which, how the event is spelled, which property it has, which type it has, and all of that. So they know exactly how they should implement this event in code, no matter if they are using Avo to implement it, or they're just using direct call to Mixpanel or Amplitude or whatever analytics tool they're using. Okay. So now I'm pretty happy with these changes. I've created a ticket for a developer to implement it. Not using Avo, just using our existing method of implementation. But I want these changes to be represented in Mixpanel Lexicon. So to make sure that happens, I can set up a publishing integration, which I have already set up here. So it's just configured with all your lexicon information that you can find in your workspace. And so to make sure that my tracking plan is always in sync with the lexicon and vice versa, then I have configured my publishing integration to auto-publish when I merge a branch. So when I merge this branch into my main branch, then this new event and this new description will be published into Mixpanel Lexicon. So let's do that right now. Yes, I'm sure. Okay, let's see. It takes a few seconds. All right. Auto-publish succeeded less than a minute ago. So let's see if I now have a description for my game completed event. So previously I didn't have a description. So let's refresh and see if it's there. Game completed, even sent when a user successfully ended their game. Perfect. And my sign up completed event is also here. Perfect. So now I have closed the loop. I have imported my tracking plan from Mixpanel Lexicon. I made changes to it and published those back into Mixpanel Lexicon. So when my developer has finished implementing the new event, they will be accepted by Mixpanel Lexicon, and all is good.